I'm Andrew Zimmern, and this is everything I eat in a day. First thing that I do when I wake up is I slide out of bed and I hit my knees and I go through a spiritual routine that I've been doing for the last 29 years. Head to the bathroom, drink something. I have drinks everywhere, on the bedside table, in the bathroom, and it's usually bottles of water or sparkling water because I'm always very thirsty. Then it's brush teeth and downstairs for the first cup of coffee. I'm a coffee drinker in the morning. I love tea. I probably have about 75 different types of tea in the house and about 30 different types of coffee. I'm kind of obsessive when it comes to food and drink. First cup of coffee is always black. Second cup of coffee, sometimes I take with milk. I found out over the last couple of years, I'm 59, not 29, that too much black coffee tends to be a lot of acidity. And I've been trying to cut down on my coffee, so a little bit of milk in there is oftentimes what I need for the second cup, and then it's on to something to eat, because I'm usually pretty hungry. I can't eat unless I've been up for about an hour. I really need to get my engine sort of going. Primarily, it's dinner for breakfast. I rummage through the leftovers. This morning for breakfast, I had 2 slices of brisket with a little bit of gravy on a piece of sourdough toast. But I spent so much time traveling through Asia where they eat soup and sauteed greens and small amounts of protein, usually fish, and a whole variety of foods. I don't like dessert for breakfast, so I'm not really into French toast and pancakes and all that kind of thing. I lean much more towards the Asian models for breakfast, which is savory foods that are a lot better for you in the morning. Sometimes I will get to the office, and especially this last year with COVID, wandering to the office at 9:30, 10 o'clock has been pretty normal for me. By 10:30, if there's good snacky stuff here, I've usually had my snacky snack here. Sometimes that's a scrambled egg. I just love eggs so much. And then I try to keep my head in my meetings and my computer until 12:30 or 1 o'clock, when I typically turn to lunch. I'm kind of a sandwich junkie, so I'll take a sandwich from anywhere. That includes both hot dogs and hamburgers. They are both sandwiches. The Italian grinder from the local deli, the fried chicken sandwich from the Fried Chicken Palace down the street. And that's about half the time. The rest of the time, we'll bring in lunch from outside of here. And so whether that's the local Mexican or Vietnamese restaurant, we try to support a lot of our local restaurants and have food brought in. And we're also a hospitality company. And so frequently there's something for lunch that involves recipe testing or stuff that our culinary director, JP Samuelson, is testing. And today for lunch, he had some gravlax. He makes the best cured fish in the whole world. And so I took a Hawaiian... This is so embarrassing. I took a King's Hawaiian oversized bun and 4 or 5 slices of his homemade gravlax. And then I remembered that, it's the holiday season, so we have a big container of caviar in the back because we're doing some caviar stuff for New Year's Eve videos. And I put a nice big tablespoon of caviar in the middle of the whole thing and smeared it around. And that's what I had for lunch today. The day beforehand, I had 2 all-beef hot dogs in buns with mustard. I mean, high, low. So I'm not a fancy food guy by any stretch of the imagination. It's just that occasionally, if I want to go that way, we have the ingredients here that I can lean into it. I'm very lucky. Snack time is a big deal for me. Some people have said it sounds like I eat 6 or 7 meals a day. I just kind of think of myself more like a barnyard animal that has access to food all the time. I'm just always eating something. Love corn chips. I love certain brands. I love Utz potato chips. I love a lot of the Asian potato chips, shrimp flavored potato chips, pork and scallion flavored potato chips. I'm lucky enough to gather a lot of those sorts of things. I like savory. I'm not really a big sweets guy, despite the fact that I have a ice cream and popsicle freezer in my office. Well, we haven't really gotten to dinner yet because when you get home, there's the requisite drop the briefcase at the door, change into something a little more comfortable, check in with the family, and have a snack. or as I like to look at it, hors d'oeuvres, because that way it sounds a little better. I'm a big cheese guy. That usually involves cheese and crackers or some other little terrine or meaty thing that I have lying around. We keep hams and salamis and things like that at home. I think we have 2 hams hanging in the garage, which we keep very relatively dry. That's super embarrassing. I mean, is there anything worse than confessing than the reason you have your garage with a humidity and temperature control setting is so that the hams that you buy can be stored out there? Super food nerd right here. Dinner is easily the healthiest meal of my day. I love the way the countries of the Eastern Mediterranean eat, where there's a roasted or a grilled or a braised piece of meat that sits in the middle of the table, and then there's dozens of little plates of things all around it. The other night, I grilled like a 3.5 pound fish. And in one bowl, I had roasted red peppers that I charred in the fireplace with real salted whole anchovies. We had a bulgur wheat salad with lots of parsley and tomatoes and olive oil and cucumber and onion. We had eggplant al haesh. It's now winter in Minnesota, so the fireplace is always going. So it's easy to char eggplant and just peel the skin off of those and drizzle a little tahina inside, maybe a little salt, maybe a little lemon or red wine vinegar. Very, very simple. I did mustard greens sauteed with garlic and chilies and lemon zest. And so we pulled that out, and you have all these little bowls, and you can have a couple of spoons of each one with a few ounces of fish, and it's like super, super healthy. My favorite food city in the world is Everywhere-Opolisburg. My favorite food city is wherever I've just visited. I'm obsessed with bright, shiny objects, and as a cultural explorer who puts everything through the prism of food and who has made it a living for 20 years to define other cultures by the foods that they eat, you're sort of asking definitively the wrong person that question. Oh wait, there's more. I don't sleep very much. I go to bed around 11:30, 12 o'clock, and I get up around 6:30 or 7. 3 or 4 nights a week, I wake up at 3 in the morning and I'm just hungry. I wander downstairs and I open up the fridge, and with the light from the refrigerator illuminating my shame, I sit there and eat cold leftover Thai, Vietnamese, or Chinese food out of the carton with my chopsticks, 3 or 4 bites, and I just think to myself, God, this is so much better cold in the middle of the night. And then I box it up and I put it away, and then I trundle back upstairs and I go back to sleep, which is probably why I only want coffee the first couple hours I'm up in the morning. I'm Andrew Zimmern, and that was everything that I eat in a day. And 2 things that I would want you to leave with. Number 1, if you're interested in any and all things that I'm doing in TV and otherwise, please check out andrewzimmern.com. And most importantly, don't eat till you're full, eat till you're tired.